this is my city development project inspired by you already saw. But anyway, over here, this is the residential district as you can see already in the village. Those are about six houses that are living. There's two business houses, one's a farm and one is a masonry. And then two orange districts, which is the well and the church. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna have to change this a bit, right? So for starters, I would probably move the farm away from where it is because it's in a very inconvenient spot. You know what I mean? So I put it over there, and then I would probably put more residential districts over there, so that way I can move villagers that way, so that way I can redevelop their houses, and then I would probably expand the river that way, because what I want to do is I want the village to be kind of surrounded on all sides, so I would connect the river up north. I'll show you later, but there's a river up north, so I'm going to connect the rivers, so that way they have like a riverside aspect to their village. And see, I mean, yeah. So this right here is me. I was scoping out the river up north to show you. There's bunches of bodies of water, all like spread out just perfectly in a straight line. So if I put in a lot of industrial work, I can connect all of the bodies of water into one giant river, which leads out into a giant Great Lake over in the distance, as you can see right there. And as you saw, also there's a river surrounding the mountain. So I would probably dig a trench there and connect it, so that way it's like at the fork of the river, just very good for import and export businesses. But right now, the best thing to do is to move the farm. So what I did was I just immediately started deconstructing their farm. Right, I'm not completely taking over the farm, right? All I'm doing is I'm taking it and moving it out of the way, because I'm gonna get really busy and start rezoning this entire city and make it to where it's actually, successful, because the city we have now is very unsuccessful. It's six people who live. There's two workers, and that's it. Like, that is very unprofitable, very unsuccessful. There's a reason that you don't even see half the villagers anymore. They're probably dying. And look at the river. Like, there's a river cutting straight through the city, which I like. And I might expand that too. Not sure. We'll see. But for like this episode, all I'm doing is I'm moving the farm, putting it on this side of the city, and I'm making it a little bigger. And what's gonna do is gonna provide wheat, carrots, beetroot, and potatoes, so they have a good diet. And this is all in single player, and it's also all in peaceful mode, so that way it's more realistic in the sense that I don't have to deal with monsters, but it's still in survival mode, so I'm still gonna have to gather all the stuff, but at least I don't have to deal with monsters or food, right? And so, I mean, if that's too much of a problem, I might change it later, but we'll see. But for now, what I have going on here is an expanded farm setup, surrounded by wood slabs, but it's just a small farm for now because there's not that many people to feed and whatnot. But eventually, though, we might have to expand it, and there's plenty of room that way to expand. But yeah, so the plan is we already did step one, which was to move the farm and stuff. So in the next episode, I'll probably start moving the residential or building extra residences on that side of the area that I mentioned earlier. And what that's going to do is going to, one, allow the current residents to move there, because I'm going to have to demolish some of their houses to put the connecting river. And two, it's also going to provide for my future experiment, which I'll go into detail right now. So that's the end of this episode. But I wanted to kind of convey what I wanted to do for the future of this series so far, right? And one, I'm going to terraform this village, but I'm not going to do it in the way that I think Black Scott Pig or whatever his name is. I think it's Black Scott Pig. I have him credited in the video, but he's like a government. He goes in, he's helping the villagers, he's keeping the aesthetics alive, and he's kind of going with the vanilla theme and whatnot, while taking heavy inspiration from Canadian provinces and cities, which I love. Um, so that's where I got the idea from. But me personally, uh, I'm not a nice Canadian, right? So I'm gonna play the role of a private equity slash private developer kind of person and just completely ignore the aesthetics and go in the completely opposite direction where I maximize profit as a capitalist, right? And because of that, I'm running a little experiment, right? So as I develop residences, as a private developer, you need motivation, you need economic factors to motivate you, right? So what makes all of the housing and businesses that I'm going to develop worth it? Because the sheer amount of villagers is not going to account for the sheer volume of space that I have for them. So as the private developer, I figured I'll get some incentives, right? So motivation to build and expand rapidly, which I'm going to be doing later, is basically every single subscriber is automatically going to get a resident placed, right? So if you're a subscriber, you get your own apartment or house or whatever, right? It'll probably be apartments because I'm going to stack as many units as I can. But for now, I think I have like three, five, I don't know, somewhere around there subscribers. So that means each subscriber gets a room in like a claim to a room in an apartment building or whatnot. And if you are a subscriber, right, and you want your name on the room, then you can just let me know in the comments or something. Otherwise, I'll probably just list you as subscriber one, subscriber two, subscriber three, so on, so on, so on, right? But yeah, that's kind of how I want to do this. And I think it'd be a really interesting way to do like a parasocial uh, civilization development project while also redeveloping this city and basically taking these villagers and transporting them from a what looks like a random Eastern European village into a modern metropolis like Chongqing. You know what I mean? So it'd be interesting to see. And also, I'm going to stay up to date with Black Scott Pig, or I'm going to say Black Scott Pig. I'm going to stay up to date with this series because I absolutely love the series and how he takes direct inspiration from Canadian houses and cities. So I'll definitely link his channel in the description so you guys can check it out too if you haven't already. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I went way over the length of the video than I wanted, but I just needed to get that out there and explain everything. And yeah, I'm kind of excited for episode two. So that's it for episode one. Thank you guys so much.